Greetings, welcome to another episode of Man Cave Meals. This episode is going to be a little product review on the Camp Chef Weekender outdoor portable propane stove that I bought recently. I've used it a few times now, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to show you what it is and why I like it so much. The Camp Chef Weekender propane stove, one of the things I was concerned about when I bought this was it might not be high enough up to cook comfortably, but it really is on its own legs. And like I said, this unit is portable. These legs come off. There's some thumb screws that hold the legs in place, but they come off, and you can cook with this on a tabletop as long as you've got a fairly heat resistant tabletop. It doesn't get too terribly hot on the bottom, but it does get hot. This cooking surface is right at, it's 27 inches from the ground, so that's fairly reasonable. And it's got the built-in windscreen that when the griddle is not in use, you flip these levers and this folds in, and then it just lays down across the top. And it does have a carrying handle, and when you latch the lid back down, you can pick this guy up and carry it by the handle without the legs on it, and take it with you wherever you want to go. This stove has two 30,000 BTU burners in it, and each one has its own control knob right here in the front. They work very easily. And at the end of the control surface right here is where your propane line hooks up, and this guy even comes with this hose, and attached to the hose is a wrench that you need to tighten this on to the burner controls. And then the hose just runs down to your regular 20-pound propane cylinder, and it's got the quick connect on the other end, so it's very easy to connect and get going. Here you can see the two 30,000 BTU burners, and that's one of the things I particularly liked about this model and several other models like it, was that size burner. This stove is fully capable of boiling a big pot of water relatively quickly, unlike some of the smaller 8,000 BTU and 12,000 BTU burners. These guys will get the job done quickly. And these aren't really cooking grates. You have to set a pot or something on here, but they come off very easily, so you can access the inside to clean it or whatnot, or clean the racks themselves. One of the other items I was worried about on a stove like this is the flame size. I was worried about a 30,000 BTU burner being too powerful to cook, to simmer. And this first burner here, I've got it fired up and it's going wide open, but you can turn it down to a very, very low flame, if you can see that flame there, and that will very easily simmer anything you want to cook. I cooked a pot of rice on this and simmered that for 20 minutes or so without boiling anything over on this very low setting. The one area that you might run into a problem on a stove like this is a windy condition. This windscreen that's built in as part of the stove does a fairly good job for light breezes and whatnot, but if you get yourself into a windy situation with this stove, you may find yourself having trouble controlling the temperature accurately, without having to run it too hard to get what you want, or risk having the wind. The wind can actually blow the flame out if you're cooking on the very lowest setting, so that's something you kind of have to pay attention to when you're using a stove like this. Shortly after I bought this stove, I bought an add-on enhancement to go with it. Camp Chef sells a griddle that sets right on top. You can set it right over the top of one of the burners, and this particular griddle is this one is the flat side, and it's got a ridge around it to keep grease and whatnot from running off into the burners, and it's got a grease catch trough right up front. You could cook on this side, or you can flip it over and cook on the grill side of this if you wanted to cook in a grilling situation. Now this griddle is cast iron. It's pre-seasoned, but like any other cast iron, you're going to want to take care of this the same way you would that. And I actually haven't used this griddle yet, but I plan to do a lot of things with it. But I'm going to season it the same way I would season a cast iron pan before I get started. And when this griddle is not in use, I'll be storing it inside, and I'll probably have it wrapped up in a plastic bag to minimize rust. So that's going to wrap up my overview of the Camp Chef stove. And the reason I wanted a stove like this is so I could have access to a stove on my patio along with my grills. It keeps me from having to run in and out if I've got something, if I'm cooking a meal where I need a stove top and a grill, like if I want to saute onions, or if I want to cook anything that's going to cook over a stove, like rice or pasta or anything that you would normally cook on a stove top. I can cook it right here now without having to run inside back and forth and keep opening the door. It'll minimize heat in the man cave in the summertime by having these burners going outside rather than inside. So keep up with me here on Man Cave Meals. You're going to see this guy in use a lot. I know you've seen it some already if you've been following my channel. I've used it several times and I'm very, very happy with it. And like I said, also, I don't do a whole lot of product reviews. Everything I've reviewed, with one exception so far, is something that I've purchased on my own, and I've put this review out here because I believe in the product. If you have a product, or if your company has a product that you'd like to see reviewed here on Man Cave Meals, please get in touch with me. And until next time, Man Cave Meals.